Hello out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to another episode of Greg's Mowers and More. And today we got an old 3-horse Briggs here. I took this off a Parmy Lazy Boy snowblower that I got. The snowblower part of it wasn't any good. I have kind of messed with it a little bit. I haven't videoed it. I've just been kind of playing with it as I get a little time. So anyway, those Parmy Lazy Boy snowblowers, you can find those for real cheap on Marketplace. Nobody really cares for them, but I seem to like them. This one, the recoil rope was busted on it, so I kind of rigged that up with some new rope. I know it's got spark. I've already had it fired once, but we got some problems here. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a closer look at this thing real quick before we get going. This will be a little bit different of a video. Today I want to try to get this thing, see if I can't get it running good. I've had it fired and that's it. Just start, run a second, die. Start, run a second, die. So we're going to kind of mess with this a little bit today. But we got an old 3-horse Briggs and Stratton. Let's see here, what year is this? I don't know if you guys will be able to see that or not. 76. Now this is a mess in here. I don't know if you'll see it or not, but it is an absolute gummy, nasty mess. I drained some of the nastiest fuel I've ever seen out of this in my life, to be honest. It was really bad. So let's see here. I already took the air cleaner out. It was crustier than Bob Barker. Got some real nice decals in there though. They've held up well. Let's see here. Maybe now you can see the numbers on that, because I know some of you guys like to see those numbers. So anyway, our carburetor linkage here is froze up solid. So when I fired it, it ran wide open. I didn't like that. But all in all, nice clean little engine. Nice and clean little engine. The tank's a different color than the engine, so somebody may have changed tanks on it at one point in time. It does have some oil in it. It don't look too awful bad. But anyway, it's a nice nice, beautiful, breezy, fall, cool Sunday morning here, first day of the work week. So we're going to keep pressing on here. I'm going to pull that plug out and just verify I still have spark. It has been a minute since I worked on this. And I do have it screwed down to the table so that way it won't roll all around. I got kind of tired of trying to mess with things and having them wobble all over the table, so I just took some sheet metal screws and kind of fastened her on down. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, we're stuck wide open, so it should have spark. Oh yeah. Nice hot spark. And I probably didn't do the best job with recoiling that. She's still kind of sticky. I wish I could show you guys this, because when you look down this plug hole, the piston in this thing looks brand new. Brand new. That was why I saved this engine. Because I mean, it looks just like brand new in there. I mean, it doesn't have a whole bunch of carbon on it or anything. When I pulled the plug out the first time, it had varnish on the plug. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. Kind of wondering if I shouldn't pop it off for you guys real quick. Well, I don't want to do that with it running wide open. I don't want to do that anymore. I already did that. So we're going to go ahead and get into the fuel system on this. I kind of thought maybe I should just exclusively do a fuel system video, maybe, on this one. So I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit on the carburetor and fuel tank. There we go. That should be good. So on these engines here, there's a bolt down here at the bottom, and then there's 2 bolts that hold the carburetor on. You got your linkages. I'm going to go ahead and pull this shroud off just to give us a little bit more view here. I think my drill's about dead. But we got 3 7/16 bolts on the shroud cover. Uh-oh, pop that one off. There we go. That'll pull off. Set our bolts in the shroud. We'll keep moving onward and upward here. Now, with this carburetor being stuck like this, I don't just want to, oh, how do I say this? I don't want to have to take, anyway. You could just remove this plate right here and put a new diaphragm in it. But this carburetor, I guarantee you, is so gummed up. We're going to have to take the tank off, everything. I'm hoping I don't have to take the muffler off. But I digress. We're going to go ahead and get into this. So we're going to disconnect our kill wire here. Just like that. Push in, pull down. Our governor vanes there. We need to be mindful of our linkages here. So which this actually works. And I did free up the choke last time. It was stuck too. So I think we need to try to get this bottom bolt out. And I don't know what size it is, if it's a 3/8 or a 10. Figure that out right now. It's a 3/8. Should have known it was going to be standard. Bolts have to be standard. Thank the Lord. So how are you guys doing today? I pray you forgive the background noise going on. What with trains and grain trucks and all kinds of things. Alright, there's that one now. Sometimes getting these carburetor bolts out is a little bit of a hassle. I don't remember if they're 3/8 or 10 mil or whatever, but we'll figure that out too. But the bottom one isn't bad. The top one can sometimes be a pain. Kind of go back and forth with them. They don't make it where you can just pull one out and then get the other one out. The way the carburetors are designed, everything is kind of so packed in here. It doesn't really go all that well. But anyway, we got that guy started. Let's try to get our top one. And as you can see, our muffler is going to be right in the way, but we don't want to mess that muffler up because I'm fresh out of mufflers. So now that I got that loose, what I can do now is I can take myself like a Phillips head screwdriver or a bit even, spin that top one back. See that? Get it to the point where we can just take it with our fingers. And then we'll work on the bottom one. I like to do it this way. I'll stick my fingers on top and underneath if I can. And now it's sticking, so we're going to have to use our wrench a little more here. So we can get that out. Alright, there we go. There's that bottom bolt. Now what I kind of like to do here is I'll take a little bit of penetrating oil and I'll kind of spray it around the carburetor here. I don't have much, but I'll spray a little bit just to try to help loosen that gasket up just a little bit, and then I'll just kind of lightly tap on it. There it goes. And the gasket stayed on the engine. Let me bring you guys in a little bit here. But, I'm trying to see here what I'm doing. I can't see real good. There it is. Okay, so the gasket stayed on the engine. The carburetor came off. Our linkages are holding it up. So we're separated. Sorry for the all-around camera work here. Alright, so now we should just be able to separate this linkage from the governor vane by picking this up, tilting it forward. I hope. There it is. Okay. So that came off. Now we can remove the linkage from the carburetor and the carburetor spring. Uh-oh, chicken squabbles. There's that. There's that. Always remember how that goes back on. Alright, now let me see if I got a drain pan and I'll show you some of the nastiness that's going to come out of this tank. I can probably zoom you guys back out a little bit now, and I think I'm going to do that. There we go. Alright. Yeah. Yummy, right? Looks just delicious. Yeah, just great. Alright, so next thing's next. We're going to separate the carburetor off of the tank. We got, what do we got here? 1, 2, 3 Phillips head screws. Let me grab my Phillips head screwdriver. And I want to try to spray that off a little bit first, get some of that gunk out of there. I don't know what's going on there. That kind of looks like somebody, oh, it's just a spider nest. Okay. Spider nest on top of there. So we're going to try to back these out. You can see our carburetor linkage is still jammed shut. Oh boy. Okay, that one doesn't want to move. Oh, that one doesn't want to move either. Let's try another trick here. And I may not have the right screwdriver either, but we're going to try to give them a little tap, tap, tap-a-roo here. Try to loosen some of that up. Don't want to damage anything though. Uh-oh. Flipping things over everywhere. Sometimes just a little tap will knock them loose. Sometimes they're held in with rust. I'm going to try this bit and see if it's any better. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Thank you, Lord, for breaking those loose for me. Uh-oh, about lost that one. Alright, can we get down on this one in front here, I wonder? I'm going to have to probably remove that start-stop arm or choke arm or whatever you want to call it. Alright, that one's coming loose too. Good deal. Now, a new carburetor diaphragm I have. The gaskets, I don't believe I have those for this. I might, but I'd rather not put any more money in this than I have to, because I'm just going to be honest, these little 3 horses, they don't bring a whole lot of money. Alright, let's see here now. If I remember right, if I take this off, this linkage here will come off too. We can grab a flat blade. That holds that in, so that'll come off. That linkage will come out. We'll set that over there. Now we can get access to that last and final screw that we need. I hope. Okay, yeah, it's moving. It ain't liking it, but it's moving. We're gonna have to work that one back and forth a little bit, I think. It's wanting to kind of spin around. I wonder if I can get some coil on it from shooting it down the side here. There's always one that wants to fight you. There we go. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay. She's coming out. Good deal. There we go. We got that last little woolly booger there. Alright. So now the carburetor should come off, I hope. Need to be gentle with it though. Try not to ruin the gasket surface here. See the gasket right there just trying to peel away. I'm gonna go grab a razor blade and try to get it to come off. Always try to keep a razor blade around just for such an occasion as this. Where's she hung up at? Over here. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get it without tearing the gasket or not. Tell you what, this fuel stinks. Well, we didn't do too bad on the gasket. It'll probably reseal. Find out though. Oh yeah. Yeah. Plug solid. Corroded all over the place. Looks like somebody used some silicone there before that, or that's just, I don't know what that is. It's garbage mostly. Alright. Okay, so we're going to continue on here. I think I'm just gonna try to look down in this tank and see what the bottom of it looks like. It don't look too good. Tip it upside down and just kind of let it. Well, there ain't nothing coming out of there. Oh wow. Okay. That's all rust. Yeah, that's all rust. That tank's pretty crappy. Okay. Things are looking wonderful. Just wonderful. Alright, so now we gotta get this carburetor apart. We need to take out our main jet here, which is gonna be a 1/2 inch, I believe. And then we got 4 flat blade screws here and our diaphragm cover will come off. So let's start by pulling out our main jet over here. It's coming right loose, good deal. See, we got a little bit of trash on the end of that. I don't know if you'll be able to see down in there or not, but there's your actual main jet. Oh, let's see if we can't get that out. Spray a little coil down in there first. Oh yeah, she's gonna come right out. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, sure for that one. I've had them where they're just so stuck in there and corroded in and everything else. They don't come out. And there's our gasket that we need to save too. Set it over there. So there's our main jet. Set it over there too, along with that. We're just trying to get our carburetor apart at the moment. You got to be careful with these tubes too. Sometimes they'll have pinholes in them, all kinds of garbage. All right, let's try and take off our plate here. Might have to go get a smaller screwdriver, I don't know. Nope, they're gonna come out, okay. These carburetors are actually very simple and they work very well if you get them clean enough and got parts, and they're not stuck like this one is. This one's really stuck. That throttle shaft's probably all gummed up or rusted up in there. It's alright though, I'm not going to give up on this carburetor yet. I'm going to do our best to clean it. I got that carburetor off that Tecumseh in my ultrasonic right now, so this one might have to go in there after it, I don't know. Alright, let's try to separate this plate here. Maybe. I think the throttle's going to be in the way though. Yeah, the throttle's going to be in the way. Put a little curl down in there. Try and get that throttle to free up a little bit. Throttle shaft's a little bit wonky, as Simon from the UK would probably say. A bit wonky there. I'm just going to gently try to pry around on this a little bit. Don't want to break anything, we just want to try to get her to break free. Try and give her a little light persuasion. Oh, it might have moved. Yeah, we're moving a little bit. Okay, good deal. Let's hit her with a little bit more of that coil there. We'll try it from this end here. Oh yeah, coil's working. She's gummed up for sure though. For sure gummed up. There it goes. Look at that. A little patience, a little persistence. Oh yeah, that coil's a wonder working deal, buddy. Let me tell you what. What I do with that razor blade, because I'm going to try to stick it in here a little bit. Just take some of the surface tension off, maybe. Yeah, that's alright. Let's try her the old-fashioned way here. She's probably gummed on there. This is a pretty gummy carburetor, I gotta say. Pretty gummy. I might have to get a smaller screwdriver. I don't know. We shall soon see. I'm going to set that on that side there and just try to tap a little bit. There it went. Okay, we finally got her to move. Now we're going to move it around a little bit. It's kind of stuck on that. There's a little dowel pin right here. There we go. Oh yeah, that diaphragm would never work. It's got fuel on both sides of it. It's nasty. It feels like sandpaper. Usually our spring and our cup come out and they're kind of gummed up, and then we can see we got little passages in here and they're kind of gummy. And definitely a gummy old gal. All right, well, let's start the cleaning process here. I wonder if this has the little spiral in it that can come out. Yeah, it does right here. Let me see if I can't get that to come out without breaking. Not going to. All right, we'll leave it. All right. Definitely pretty rough. Definitely pretty rough. To me, that looks literally like rust. Like that's all rust there. It's pretty bad when the coil won't even go down through it. There, it's starting to creep. Wow. This might be the worst one I ever seen. Put my other bit in the drill and see if we can't get that cleaned up a little faster. Got to be real careful not to break it. My goodness, that's bad. That is really, really bad. That hole right there, I believe, is supposed to be open, and it's not. It might be plugged all the way down. That's going to make it interesting, trying to get through this thing. This one might have to soak in the ultrasonic. It's pretty rough. Might be the roughest one I ever saw. How about that one? Is that one open? I don't know. I don't think either of them are. Might have to try to pop this screen out, which I kind of hate to do. She looks pretty rough. Went and got my drill with a little tiny bit in it. I got a pick. Oh yeah, that was straight varnish right there. For sure it was. Hey, look at that. We're actually getting fuel through that nasty thing. Look at that. I don't know if you saw that or not. Oh, I think it just plugged it. It's trying. Yeah, it's plugged all the way down. Wow. Let me try to get that screen out of there. I might mess the screen up, but that won't affect it running for a little while. Uh-oh. Yeah, we just kind of ruined that screen, I think. bummer. Okay. Good deal. Excelente. That guy there's open. Let's try our main jet passage here. Uh-oh. That wasn't good. I don't think that's open. Nope, I think it's plugged solid too. Where's my little carburetor thing at? I don't know if they make, I think they make new ones of these. I could probably get them. Alright, I just pushed that up through there and you can see we're coming clear through that main jet. So we know that that is open. We should be able to blow down through there maybe. Yep. That's open. We got fuel flow. Alright, cool. Come over here and try and clean this up a little more. And then we'll take our razor blade and scrape all this gasket material off. Try to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to take my wire brush and try and get the rest of that gum off of there. Out of that diaphragm hole right there. She's pretty gummy. Pretty gummy old carburetor. The tank's worse. This is a lot like what that other Parmy was when I got it running. And then it ran for a little while and messed up again. I really need to invest in some brakes parts. For sure. Wish I had a little sandpaper to go up and down those with. I don't think I do though. They're bad. It's the thing about carburetors, it's a lot of cleaning. A lot of cleaning trying to get them to where they actually run and work. I'm really hoping we're going to be able to hear this thing run for longer than about 2 seconds though. I wish I would have thought this through a little better and gotten some extra parts here. Or maybe just ordered a new $20 carburetor for it off of Evil Bay. But, you know, you do what you can with what you got. I'm going to have to swap out cans of carb cleaner. Do what you can with what you got when you got it. That's how it goes for me anyway. The time and the money, they never come at the same time. I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying there. I'm sure you guys all have families and budgets and all the good stuff. Well, there we go. Make sure you do that. Open that port up. Just make sure you get it all cleaned. I'm getting stuff all over the camera. Alright, you guys can still see okay, it looks like though. Alright, I'm going to try to clean this out a little bit here. If I can do it without messing my hands up. Alright, we're looking better already. Find our little with that razor blade, I just had it. It's probably sitting here somewhere. If it was a snake, it'd bite me. There it is. Scrape our stuff off. Go. not as clean as I want it to be. Okay, that's better. Let me get the new diaphragm out. We'll put that back together. Alright, here's our new diaphragm. It comes with a spring, a cup, and a diaphragm. I got these out of a thing on eBay a long time ago. I got like 24 of them for $5 or $7 or something. I don't even remember now. But they're handy to have around, I'll tell you that much. I like having them. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take that spring and that cup and our diaphragm. Make sure you don't really have any carb cleaner on your hands when you're handling this thing, because you can literally, the carb cleaner can eat through these diaphragms. It happens. I've done it before. Let your hands dry fully. Kind of sticking in the package on me a little bit. They might be getting old. They're probably 2-3 years old. Well, no, still plenty supple. Alright, so we're going to take our spring here, put our cup on there. The cup side goes towards the diaphragm, and then getting little bits of dirt on here. I should have been cleaner about this. And then we'll set that down over that dowel rod there, like that. I need to move our throttle shaft over a little bit. I need to get my screws ready. All kinds of stuff over here, just messing me up. Okay, here we go. Now normally I would take this, I'm gonna spray that off again. Well, I'll just wipe it off. Normally I would take a piece of sandpaper and put this cover on there and go like that with it. But we're just gonna try to wing it today. Let's see how it goes for us. Hopefully it goes well. I mean, you can't beat a engine you got off a snowblower for $5, can you? Messing around with it on a beautiful fall Sunday morning. It's starting to warm up a little bit. I'll be able to take my jacket off here pretty soon. It's supposed to get to like 65 today, I think. The Lord has certainly been blessing us with some beautiful weather. I just kind of wish that, well, I don't wish, I've been praying for rain. We got some the other day. It wasn't quite enough. I'm hoping that, I think Wednesday, it's supposed to rain like an inch. So maybe we'll be able to fire our well back up that day. We've been running off the cistern now for, I don't know, a couple weeks. Well, I mean, you guys, if you've been with the channel any length of time, you've seen those videos of me with the water tank in the back of the truck. Admiring God's handiwork out there. The sun and the moon and the sunsets and the beautiful fall scenery. Wife and I yesterday went to the wolf-covered bridge on a nice little Sabbath drive on Saturday. Checking out the wolf-covered bridge. I haven't ever brought my wife there, so we went yesterday. We enjoyed that. It was beautiful. All the trees are changing color in the fall here. Absolutely beautiful day to be out in nature, admiring God's handiwork. Alright, so there's that. Next thing's going to be cleaning up the main jet and getting the main jet needle put in there. Then we'll have our carburetor reassembled, and then it'll be time for me to go deal with the tank. Now, we got that. I'm going to take this and run it through this jet. And that jet is open. We're going to clean that jet. Some carburetor cleaner. Always blow through the jet with carb cleaner. There we go. That's nice. It's real nice. Alright. Good deal. Let's thread our jet back in there. What do you think? You think this halfway redneck carburetor cleaning and rebuild is going to run? I sure do hope so. Sure do hope so. It doesn't make for a very good video when things don't run, does it? I mean, I guess it does, because you guys get to watch me epic fail, which you saw on a couple of things so far. Alright, we got the end of that needle cleaned up. I'm gonna leave the adjustment right where it is for now, because this thing was probably running when it was put away. So I'm just gonna leave that adjustment right where it was. Not gonna touch that right now. And we'll tighten her back down just like so. And there's our carburetor. I mean, it's not perfect. We should get new ones of these, put them on there. It probably should have had a soak in the ultrasonic, but we're gonna try to get by without it. I'm gonna go over and try and rinse this tank out with my garden hose, maybe some vinegar, and then we'll come back and put this thing back together. Alright, we're back, and as you can see, the mess has escalated here. This tank, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you guys this or not, but this tank is just absolute trash. It's so full of rust inside, I can't save it. Not right now anyway, not in a time like that. So I went and I dug through my stores and I found this one. It's exactly the same. And the bowl in here is nice and clean, there's nothing in there. The bottom's got a little surface rust, but it's way better than what was there. So we're gonna use that. I looked through my stash, I found a bunch of gaskets that wouldn't work, and I found one that is a perfect match. So with that being said, we're gonna put this thing back together and see if it's gonna run. Throw my gaskets back in my little barrel full of goodies there. So yeah, this should be a perfect matchup. And indeed it is. Right there. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on the carburetor first. Is how I kind of like to do it, and I gotta remember how it goes. Let's see that one there. That's not right. I gotta flip this over. Maybe this ain't the right gasket. Gotta go on there one way or another. Goes like that, don't it? No? Okay. There it is. Okay. So there's that. And then what I'll do is I'll take my screws here and grab my screwdriver, and I'll just kind of run these screws down through this gasket. And use the screws to hold the gasket on. Is how I kind of like to do that. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm sure there's other ways of doing it. This is just how I have found that it helps to keep everything moving the way it should be. Really hope you guys are having a great day when you're watching this. I gotta tell you, I got the best subscribers on YouTube there is, man. You guys, very rarely do you guys leave me any bad comments or anything like that. You guys are really filled with grace and mercy, and I appreciate you very much. Alright, we're gonna slip this back through the tank, and we're gonna line everything up here, just like so. There we go. Go ahead and start all our screws here. Now what I like to do is I'll leave that just a hair loose like that. Then we'll start putting her back together. I need to get my linkages out. This is where memory's going to come into play at. I hope anyway. Hopefully I'll remember how it all goes back together. Carburetor screws. This thing's got to go back on here. Alright, goes in that one, I think. There we go. Alright, that should ground that out. Okay. So that looks about right. Hopefully I'm still within the range of the camera here. I hope. So there's that one. Now we got to do this guy here. Alright, and it's going to go down like so, I believe. Alright, where's our governor at there? Wind vane governor. Uh-oh, we're about... Don't want to lose our governor spring there. Maybe that'll come up. Uh-oh, I'm messing it up all over the place here. You know what? Let me take it off the... I'll just take it off the carburetor here. Just slide him down like that, I think. Oh, that's backwards. I got it backwards. They say the memory's the last thing to go. On me, it kind of seems to be the first, because I have a hard time remembering this stuff. Just being honest. Alright, that goes there. I believe our governor spring goes through. I don't know how well that's going to show up, but it goes through there, I believe. Just like that. Yeah, there we go. Alright. And our carburetor, or as a Terrell guy calls them, Carburetors, I think. He calls it a carburetor. And we'll stick our bolt up through there. Started in the engine here. That started, so we can just kind of lean that back a little bit. Put our top one in. Take our long jobby here. Just kind of try to get that bolt started in there. Alright, there we go. We got that started. Find that bottom bolt, which I think is this right here. It's going to go underneath here. And our little bracket to hold our tank on. We'll get that started. There we go. And I like to run that bottom one in, not super tight, but just enough to help pull the tank up against the engine there. Go. And then we can start running these in. Just the way I like to do it. I haven't ever read an actual shop manual on one of these, so if I'm doing something wrong out there, one of you Briggs and Stratton experts, maybe you can tell me. Tell me about myself. I'm sure there's torque specs for all this stuff. This, that, and the other. Here comes another train. Trying to get all your Amazon freight to you. these really aren't that bad little engines to work on. They're pretty simple. Parts for them are pretty cheap. Most of the time they're available, except for these fuel tanks. You can't really get these fuel tanks anymore, and if you can, they're super pricey. These fuel tanks. Make sure you get these carb bolts good and tight. Alright, we're going to go ahead and tighten down our carburetor bolts to the tank now. We want to make sure we get those tight. We want a nice tight seal. Don't want any vacuum leaks, because that'll make it run really bad. And could also make it stall out, not run, all kinds of things. Oh, I should have waited to put this linkage back on. I got to have it off to tighten down that screw. Wasn't thinking. Sorry, guys. Come on out of there. Give it out. There we go. Okay. Run that screw down and get everything nice and tightened down. We're getting close now. Getting close to seeing if it's going to run on its own. Okay, that one's tight. I'll go over that one again. Yeah, that one's tight. That one's tight. Okay. Get our little vent pipe here on. There we go. Alright. Put this guy back in. Alrighty. Tighten up this little thumb screw here on the side. Holds that in. Go. Alright. Open. I don't know why that's not returning though. That should want to return. I don't know why that's hanging wide open like that. Maybe I'm missing a spring somewhere. Maybe the spring's on wrong, because I think it should want to return. I think it should be wanting to pull that closed instead of open, and it's not. It keeps wanting to pull it wide open. Well, at any rate, it should be able to govern itself, I think. Maybe I got the linkage wrong on it. I don't know. I don't know. It's been a minute. Let me put my kill switch wire back on here. It's supposed to go like that. There we go. Kill switch wire's on. There it's staying. Okay, so that's working. All right, I got it right. Okay, so that there should just be, so that's touching. That should ground it out and kill it, right? The throttle should want to stay closed, which it kind of does. And then you pull it. There we go. It still wants to go wide open though. I don't really like that, but it kind of is what it is. I mean, our governor vane's working. So that's about all we can hope for, I guess. So let's go ahead and try to put our side cover back on. We'll keep moving forward here. Got a fuel cap. It's still all gummy. Alright. Got a lot of stuff sitting out here. Well, what do you guys think? Is it gonna run, or is it gonna run a little bit and then die? I don't know. Wondering myself how it's gonna be. I think that carburetor is far from perfect. I just feel like something's not right here. We're not wanting to line up the way we should be on this cover. Something's not right. Seems like we're off a little bit. That's why. The cover's tilted. There. There we go. Just had to hold my tongue right to get that to go on there. You ever have to do that? Hold your tongue just a certain way? Get something to work. I have to do that all the time. It'd be good to get this little engine running good though. It'd be kind of nice to have a nice little 3-horse around. I don't know. Maybe if I get a little mini bike in or a little go-kart or something, it'd be kind of fun to stick on there and tool around with, you know. Just thinking out loud. Alright, come on, get on there now. Set the wrong socket. Yeah, that's a 3/8. I need a 7/16. Oh, what a dingbat. Go. Uh-oh, socket stayed on there. Well, come here, you little bugger. Go. Okay. Now I guess we better get all our stuff off the table so that we can continue to move forward here. And I think, let me see here. Somebody once told me you gotta have this screw in the carburetor. I don't know if that's true on these for tuning, but we're gonna do it anyway. We don't want any uncontrolled air leaks. So we're gonna get all this stuff picked up so that they can't rattle off or become projectiles. I know it's not a lawnmower, but safety should still be at least third. You know how it is. Well, maybe it's different where you're from, but I don't know. Here, safety's kind of an afterthought sometimes. Probably shouldn't be. But if you've been with the channel any length of time, you've seen me light myself on fire. You know, all kinds of stuff. Alright, let's put some gasoline, or if you're overseas, I think they call it petrol. Or ethyl. It used to be called tetraethyl. I'm running kind of low on gasoline. I might want to fix that. How much is in there? Alright, we got close to a full tank. Close. And I think we're about ready to try to fire this up. I need to get my little parts bin off there. Oh. Okay. Choke is set. Begin run. Okay. Here we go. Throttle clutch is sounding excellent. Oh, I think it tried to fire. gasoline out from somewhere. Where is that coming from? Where is that gasoline coming from? I cannot tell. Let me spray that off. I don't know if you guys can see that because the sun's getting to be pretty much right in your face now. But I mean, she's just absolutely covered with it. Absolutely covered with gasoline, but it didn't sound too awful, did it? I'm gonna try to tighten down some screws some more here. I'm concerned it might be coming from a warped diaphragm cover. Probably should have got the old sandpaper out and done a number on it. I almost threw this fuel tank away multiple times. Just being honest, I was like, oh, I'll never get another 3-horse. But it did happen. That doesn't act right. I don't know. All right, let's try to pop it off again here. See what it does. I think our starter clutch might be hanging up just a hair. Maybe our recoil's going out. I don't know. I don't know. Start die. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to pull the cover off. This one's fighting hardcore all the way. She surely is. Had her running for a minute there. And it didn't sound too bad. Longest this engine's running, who knows how long. Why is it not sucking back in though? I think the spring might be getting a hair weak on her. It's probably rusting as all get out. Let me spray some more Croil back there. Try to help that spring out. Yeah, she's hanging up big time. Probably a lot of rust in that cover. Kind of starting to work. It's not great, but we'll try to make it through. I'm going to try to put some more lubricant in here for the starter clutch because it's howling there for a second. Try to get a little something going here. All right. Little 3-horse is giving us some fits here, especially with the tin work on it. Tin work on it's kind of rough in places. Really hoping that we can get this thing to kick off and have it not run all rough. die out. Really like to hear this run for, I don't know, a good 5 minutes or so. Just to know that it's sound and not going to be all ticky and make all kinds of racket, you know. See that my wife and my daughter are getting ready to leave. I'm going to shut you guys off for a second so I can say goodbye to them. Alright, we're back. Get my drill off of there. Try this again. See how this goes. Alright, choke's on, throttle's open. Here we go. Close the choke. Pouring gasoline out everywhere, leaking out of the diaphragm cover. That's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. So I guess I'm gonna have to try to yank it again, see why it's doing that, because it shouldn't be. Maybe I didn't get the screws tight enough. Maybe the cover's warped. I wonder if I got another one of them covers somewhere. I'm gonna look and see if I got another cover. Be right back. Well, I looked and I know I don't have another cover. So I guess what's gonna happen now is I'm just gonna try to pull the carburetor off and take another look at it. Try to figure it out. I don't know. Didn't foresee that happening, but you never do. It just happens, you know. That's what happens when you try to put something together real quick with very little parts. I think I'm going to zip that outer cover off again too, just to give me a little more room. Gonna have an hour tied up, more than an hour tied up in this little motor. Kind of started to smoke there a bunch. It's kind of concerning because, like I said, when I looked in there, it looks like brand new in there. But I mean, I guess that's not to say it might not have a bad head gasket or something. Who knows? But it did sound pretty darn good. It really did. Running on choke, it wouldn't run without choke, but I mean, it's got to have a heck of a vacuum leak having that fuel leak like that too. So, but we're gaining. At least it did run on its own for a short period of time. Limited time, like, oh, I think it's that nasty old McDonald's place. I don't eat there anymore, but I used to all the time. You know, limited time only. Get your, what is it now, chicken Big Mac or something? They got some nasty thing. Some nasty thing to plug all your arteries up. Did you guys see this table moving around? That engine's vibrating the sawhorses. It's on wood sawhorses. Vibrating against the ground and stuff, moving all around. Reminded me of this time when I was younger. I don't remember how old I was. maybe 10, 12, somewhere in there. I went with my grandparents. My great-grandma lived in South Dakota, a small town called Oneka, South Dakota. You've probably never heard of it. It's basically a little nothing town like where I live at now. And my great aunt Ramona and Uncle Albert, my grandparents, decided we were going to go on a road trip to go see the birthplace of Lawrence Welk. And I mean, if you're a younger person, you don't know who Lawrence Welk is. The only reason I know who he is because some people in my family were polka nuts and obsessed with Lawrence Welk. Just absolutely obsessed with the man. So we drove out to, I believe it's Strasburg, North Dakota, to the birthplace of Lawrence Welk. It's an old farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere with a big barn. And there's like a mannequin holding an accordion hanging out of the barn loft, you know, and I was a young kid. I was more into other things. I really wasn't into Lawrence Welk, didn't know who he was. Found out he was an accordion player, and that just made it all more or less interesting to me. But I do remember it vividly as a childhood memory that I hold fondly because, well, my grandfather passed away when I was 18, suddenly. Basically the worst tragedy that's ever happened to our family. And he was kind of the rock of the family, held everything together, you know, and loved everybody. And great man. Miss him still. But anyway, I remember that trip because my Uncle Albert wasn't the best driver in the world. He was old then. He just recently passed a few years ago. He was 90 something. And anyway, we drove back in one of the worst thunderstorms I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, I think everywhere he went, he drove like 40 miles an hour. Oh yeah, that should have been a lot tighter. But, yeah, Strasburg, North Dakota, if you're ever up there and you got a day to kill and you want to do something you don't really care about. I don't know if it's still there, because I mean, that's been like 20 something years ago now, probably. Over 20 years ago. But yeah, we went to the birthplace of Lawrence Welk. And I forget what that guy used to say all the time. I'll do my best Lawrence Welk impersonation right here for you. Wonderful, 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 I believe is what he said. But yeah, my grandfather, I believe his family were Germans. Yeah, they were Germans. His dad's name was Adolf. His mother's name was Catherine. They definitely Catholic people. Good folks though, really good folks. Great grandma Katie lived a long time. Great grandpa Adolf died before I was born. Yeah, a lot of. It's funny the things you remember. You know, my mind will forget what I did 2 hours ago, but boy, I can still remember that like it was yesterday. Just crazy. Just crazy. Yeah, I got a lot of family members that well, we're an interesting bunch. I'll just say that. I don't remember how he was related to me, but he was related to my grandfather. I don't know if he was his cousin, second cousin, whatever, but his name was Clarence. And the guy was an international arms dealer, firearms dealer. And I remember his hobby was making like little tin men, welding together little tin men with inappropriate appendages, I believe is hopefully as safe a word as I can use for that. But yeah, at about 12 years old, he wanted to show me his artwork, and that was an interesting experience. He showed me artwork and a lot of weapons. A lot of weapons. Definitely a Second Amendment rights guy who wanted to make a lot of money at it. Very artistic in a way that I would not recommend for anybody under the age of, well, I wouldn't recommend it at all, but don't recommend making graven images of cowboys with stuff like that. Sorry, I should have never talked about it, but once my mind gets on something from a memory, it just goes. Is it that way with you? Do you guys have any family memories of things when you were growing up that just, you look back on them and you just laugh, and they bring a smile to your face and bring you joy, even though at the time they might not have felt like the best memory? I find myself, the older I get and the more I reflect, I think on these things. And, well, I know God certainly wasn't happy in some of those instances, but I do thank Him for the good things about Him, the memories, you know, and just for the smile. Just for bringing that smile to my face, that memory to take me out of, maybe out of a bad situation you're currently in, maybe out of a not so bad situation, but it's just a reprieve from your day-to-day life, you know. I don't know. I guess I'm just rambling. I even sound like I got a South Dakota accent going on, eh? Man, check me out. Check me out. We're getting there, I think. We'll probably only have it apart 27 more times before we get it right. I mean, it's not called like first time garage or anything like that. That's not me. And I don't think it'd make for as good a content if you did it that way either. I mean, who really wants to see a guy put something together right the first time? Come on. I mean, if you're paying for it, sure, but you guys know what I'm saying. I know you do. I know you do. I know there's probably a lot of you guys out there who have had things torn apart 27 million different times, just like me. And when I was younger, let me tell you, I would have got really frustrated and just tossed this thing right in the trash. I threw away so much good stuff. I kick myself for it now. Boy, this table's getting awful wobbly. I wonder if I didn't mess something up when it was dancing all around. Like a Briggs and Stratton ballerina. That'd make a decent t-shirt, wouldn't it? Briggs and Stratton ballerina. Somebody'd probably like to wear that. I don't know who, but you know. Just a thought. I have given some thought to making a t-shirt or two, but I don't know if the Lord would like that or not. I'm still praying on that. What do you guys think about it? Let me know. Make a t-shirt of me lighting myself on fire. Just kidding. Can't do that. A friend of mine a long time ago said something about he'd buy one if it was, I think he said if it was me doing the wheelie on the lawnmower or something. Buy a t-shirt of it. Or maybe he said he'd buy one if it was me lighting myself on fire. I don't know. Gotta love friends, right? They're always real good to you. Okay. Alright. Back to square one again. Let's see if we fix that leak. There goes nothing. Oh, I didn't tighten down the bolts. Jeez. Okay. Fool that I am sometimes. Dagnabbit. Mine's going a million miles a minute. I tell ya. Beautiful Sunday though. Uh-oh. Well, that guy fell out. I'm glad that didn't start. That would have been bad. You guys are here for entertainment purposes only, right? You're not here to actually learn anything. That's what I thought. Okay. Now, if our recoil will actually work. It's trying. And it's 97 years old. It's trying. Okay, well, we had our... Okay. There we go. Here we go. Choke. Oh, come on now. What is happening here? Okay, are we getting no fuel? Too much fuel? Like, what is it? Pushed her too far down and she shut off. Yeah, we're still leaking a little bit of fuel. I think that plate on that diaphragm has been a little bit. She seems to be smoking a hair more than what I would like. I'm going to move you guys around a little bit here. Alright, you can see that fuel tank. She's kind of covered. We're going to go ahead and fire it back up again and see what's happening here. Our table keeps wanting to move around on us. Everything's falling on the ground. I'm just not quite to the point where I'm done yet with this. And that there doesn't act quite right either. I don't know. Alright, let's try her again. Oh, man, that recoil is just She's not working too good. I'm wondering if that spring didn't go out in there, because I'm having to rewind it by hand. All right, we'll choke her a little bit and try it again. Here we go. Idle. Interesting. It's getting good and warmed up now. Well, it's got too much oil in it for one thing. I probably should have checked that out a little better. It feels good, but it's just too much oil. Tip that up and get a little bit of that oil out of there. See if I got any napkins or anything. Let's get it to go in the water bottle. I don't know. That there should be better. I don't know if that's why, but it just seems to me like it's burning quite a bit of oil. Definitely burning a lot of oil. What's weird is the cylinder looks brand new. It's just weird. This recoil's giving me fits. I think that spring gave up on it. Sure acts like it. Fire it up one more time, see if taking any of that oil out makes that smoke go away. Still smoking like a freight train. We got something going on here. We got a stuck ring. Stuck ring or something going on in there. Well, I do see it pushing some oil out the head gasket too. So maybe we got a bad head gasket. That very well could be. That very well could be. I wonder if them head bolts were loose. I don't know, it seemed pretty tight to me. That one there was a hair loose, but yeah, it's not a nickel's worth of difference. They don't, you gotta be too tight. All right, well, dang it. Oh, guys, well, that didn't work out the way I thought it would. Yeah, it's seeping oil around that head gasket. I'll bet you that's the culprit right there. It's getting outside the head gasket, it's getting in there and burning, and I'll bet you that's it. I don't have one of those, unfortunately. Well, shoot. Dagnabbit. I really was hoping to get this thing going. Well, I mean, I got it going, but you know, I wanted it to run well. I mean, it does. I guess it runs well. It's just it's smoking like Dickens. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, I mean, we messed around with the 3-horse. We went through the fuel system, changed the fuel tank. You guys got to see how to kind of fix carburetor on one. Ain't life like that, though. You think it's going to go one way, it goes totally another. And this is exactly why the Bible says, Jesus tells you to pray, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It's all about the Father's will, not ours. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how we're supposed to live our life. It's not supposed to be a quest for fame or glory, any of those things. It's all about glorifying the Lord and telling people about Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach in the Hebrew, who died the most gruesome possible, painful death there was on a cross for you and I. Died for the sins of the whole world, the Bible says. And all he asks is that you repent of your sins, turn from them, follow him, read his word, study and know of him. And, repent is the biggest part of that, obviously, but keep his commandments. He says, if you love me, keep my commandments. He's done an awful lot for me in my life, I tell you what. I put out a Sabbath message Saturday called When the Well Runs Dry. If you haven't seen that, go see that. My personal testimony's on that message, and I think you'll be blessed by it if you go check that out. I know I was sure blessed to give it. But if you don't know Jesus Christ and you haven't trusted him as your Lord and Savior yet, I pray that you'll do that. I pray that you'll come to a knowledge of saving grace of Jesus, and that he'll be able to work in your life the way he has in mind to find peace in things just like this. This would have drove me nuts a long time ago. I would have got mad at it. I would have probably, I don't know what I would have done. I'm not even going to put that out there. But I got peace with it because I know it's his will, not mine. That's why I do this channel. I want to glorify God, bring more people to a saving knowledge of my Lord and Savior. And that's exactly what I hope and pray that you'll do, and I hope and pray this message has blessed you. I hope and pray you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think I did great, and leave me a comment, let me know what I did wrong. As for the rest of it, thank you so much for watching. I pray you have a great day. God bless you.